okay, this is a conjunction video explaining what happens when Ketu, the south node, is conjunct Sun. So, what is Ketu? Ketu is known as a moksha karaka, a significator of moksha, which means moksha is like spiritual liberation, liberation and separation from the physical things that keep us tied down and attached to the things of this world. Ketu represents the things you already experienced and dealt with in your past life. And because you already experienced and dealt with these things in your past life, you have no desire to go and experience and deal with them again in this life. And if you do go towards that area of your life again, you want to experience them in a different way that you haven't experienced them before. But since the way that you want to experience it again would be so unrealistic in comparison to how you already dealt with it before, it creates a lot of unsatisfaction and disappointment. Because whenever you go to that area where Ketu is, you have no desire for it, or you get disappointed. And you try to experience that area of your life in a different way that you haven't experienced before. But whatever way you try to experience that area of your life before, it might not be realistic. So because you're pursuing something, because when you go towards something that you know you can have, or that you already experienced, you are unsatisfied. And then when you try to go towards that area of your life again, and experience it in a different way that might not be realistic or might not exist, you're even more dissatisfied. So wherever Ketu is at could be potentially depending on sign and aspects and the house is at, and could be an area of great disappointment and unsatisfaction. So what is Sun? Sun is easy. Sun is simply a significator of Atma. It's an Atma Karaka. It's a significator of your soul. It's a significator of the father and father figure in your life. It is a symbolic of authority and power in the government. That's short and simple. That's what the Sun basically is. And this is a very interesting conjunction. Through the little brief videos I've seen on YouTube, and through books I've read, I haven't really seen no one clarify or explain what does a Ketu Sun conjunction do in the way that I'm about to explain it. You look at other videos and read books and shit, they'll say stuff like oh, Ketu Sun conjunction gives you a loss of ego, or you might be a little bit introverted and all that stuff, which is low-hanging fruit. That's easy to say because Sun is very extroverted, and Ketu represents like a loss of energy, and it represents things you already dealt with. It represents all those type of things. So that's very easy to say. But the way I break it down, what makes more sense is this. Like I said, this is a bit of a contradictory placement. Almost as contradictory and a bit of a tongue twister as the Ketu Saturn conjunction. So think about this. With the Sun being a significator of your soul, essentially, wherever the Sun, what house the Sun is placed in, wherever sign the Sun is placed in, it sort of gives you a hint. It sort of gives you a clue of what does your soul want to do in this life, how it wants to express itself, how it's going to express itself. Where is the soul starting its journey? What is the mission of the soul? What is part of the mission of the soul? Because you can't take one placement of a person's chart and say that this is entirely who you are and everything that you would do, because you'll be wrong. Every placement of a person's chart is just bits and pieces and clues. Everything in the chart is you. But like I said, the Sun gives you a hint and clue of what does the soul want to do, how it wants to express itself, what is its mission. Because that's why you was born. The Sun is your soul, you know. It's the fire. It's like birth. It's life. So the Sun sort of shows you why you was born and what you want to do. The contradictory nature comes in with the Ketu, because Ketu shows what you've already dealt, what you already done, what you already dealt with, and therefore you might not have no desire to do this. And it's sort of a tongue twister because it's like, hold on, me being born obviously shows that I have some mission to fulfill. I have some karma to do. But Ketu is also saying, dog, you already done this mission before. In a sense, Ketu is sort of saying, you already done this mission before. And because you already done this mission before, go do something else. Or you're going to be unsatisfied when you try to do this mission again. Unless you do it in a different way. So it's almost like Ketu is like saying you've already dealt with and done with this mission for why you was born. It's almost like it's like I know I keep repeating this, but it's almost like Ketu is saying you've been reborn for no reason, dog. Like, you're born for no reason. You already done this mission. Why are you born again? You've already done this. So the way I've interpreted this is that what a Ketu sun can show is that you had some karma to pay that you didn't complete in your past life. Like, let's say that you have your son in any house. Let's just say, I don't know. I'm just making up an example. Don't actually take this as an astrological example, but don't take this astrological example I'm about to give you to be real factual, in that this is what will happen if you have this placement. Let's say you have Sun in the 7th house conjunct Ketu. Well, potentially, let's say that in a previous life, you had Sun in your 7th house. And let's say that one desire that you wanted was to be in a marriage, to be in a relationship, and whatever. But for some reason you wasn't able to get married. Or let's say that someone's in the 10th house. You wanted to have your own career, your own business, but you was unable to do it. Or maybe you did get married. Or maybe you did get that career. Maybe you did get that job in your previous past life. But you wasn't satisfied with that job. You wasn't satisfied with your career. You wasn't satisfied with your marriage. You wasn't able to experience and fulfill your career and your marriage the way that you wanted to. So Ketu Sun conjunction is sort of saying that, you've already started this mission. You already did this mission that your son wanted to do to an extent already. But you was not satisfied with it. You was not satisfied with your mission, or you did not do your mission the way that God wanted you to fulfill it, the way that the universe wanted you to fulfill it, or the way that it was supposed to be done. It's like you did this job, but you ain't do it the way it needed to be done, the way it was supposed to be done. You half-assed it, or you were just unsatisfied. Who knows? It could be a mirage, whatever, of things. So with the Ketu Sun conjunction, it's sort of telling you that you've already started this mission, but you was not satisfied with it. So in this lifetime, you need to go, and you will go and attempt and try to fulfill that mission that you started in a previous life. Because Sun shows partially why you was born. The Sun shows why the soul was born, part of the things what the soul wants to do. So the Sun shows you're going to walk this path. You're going to start on this path. You have no choice. Sort of like Saturn, Ketu conjunction. Saturn is karma. Saturn makes you pay for things. And Sun shows why you was born. So you was born into this karma. You was born into this duty. You was born into this action. You're going to do this. And Ketu is like, oh, I don't want to do this. You already dealt with this. I don't want to do this. I already dealt with this. Move on. But you can't move on. So similar to Ketu Saturn conjunction, Sun Ketu conjunction is showing that you're going to be born into something, born into some karma, born into some debt that you have to deal with that you might not want to deal with. That's what the Ketu Sun conjunction shows me, in my opinion. And the Ketu Sun conjunction could potentially show that this is a very advanced and mature and or old soul. Since Sun is a significator of the soul, and Ketu is the past life experiences, it shows that this Sun, this soul, has experienced this mission or attempted this mission many times. It might have failed. Or this is just a soul who has just been around for a very long time. And Ketu Sun conjunction can also represent other things that the Sun represents, such as the father. It might show that you might not have no desire to build a connection and relationship with the father or father-like figure. You might not have a desire to connect or be close to or develop a relationship with people in positions of power and authority in the government. There might be some animosity or distance or resentment between you and father figures and you and people in positions of power in the government and all that stuff. That might be a possibility with the Ketu Sun conjunction. that's essentially it. You know, let me just double check and look at my notes. But yeah, K2 Sun conjunction. Yeah, I don't really got too much more to say. But yeah, K2 Sun conjunction shows that you need to continue and fulfill this mission that you started in a previous life, because you wasn't fulfilled with that mission. You wasn't able to complete that mission, or you didn't do it the way that it was supposed to be done. And your sun and or your soul will not be able to progress to the next level, progress to the next phase, progress to the next stage in the cosmic plan, the divine plan, or go to the next loka, the realm or existence, or whatever that God wants you to go. You won't go to that next level until you deal with this karma, this action that the Sun Ketu conjunction wants you to deal with. And of course, you'll get a bigger clue and hint on what is this soul mission that you need to complete in this life that you probably struggled with and didn't complete, based upon the house that the Ketu Sun is in, and by looking at the sign and nakshatra that Ketu Sun is in. How impactful will this conjunction be will be seen by how close in degrees the two planets are. But yeah, as far as people, when you read books, it might say that, oh, a Ketu Sun person might be introverted. That's possible. It's possible because it shows that, you know, it could potentially show on a maybe generic surface level base that, hey, this person knows who they are. They know who they are, especially if the Ketu Sun conjunction is like maybe in the first house, because the first house is self, Sun is the soul, Sun is the self. It could really show that this person already knows who they are. They already experienced who they are on a soul level. So they might not feel a need to really go out into the world and show them who they are. But I'm going to just stop. That's essentially all I got to say for the Ketu Sun conjunction. I hope this gave you great clarity and insight on what happens if you have a Ketu and Ketu South Node conjunction with the Sun in your birth chart. And see you whenever I make my next video.